Yes, it did. Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's recap of Amazing Race.
Hey Verdell, you must be here because you're upset that Mel and Mike got eliminated last week.
He's very upset. He wanted to voice his opinions.
Alright, so they're in Phuket, Thailand, and they're going to have to fly to Bangkok, Thailand.
Yes, and when they get there, they have to find a boatyard and search the grounds for the clue.
So Jaime and Cara were getting into a taxi, and they're like, is this a real taxi?
And then,
it's like a BMW.
Yeah, police officer, is this real?
Don't talk to them. What was going on with that?
No, it's imaginary.
Yeah, I guess they just were afraid of, like, getting kidnapped and having to work at a brothel one day.
I don't know. But all 5 teams ended up on the same flight.
The great
Thailand.
Equalizer, the airport.
Yep.
So the first task in Bangkok is a roadblock for 1.
Yes, and the clue was, who can propel their team forward?
Well, you had to put a propeller on a boat. And it was apparently a lot harder than it looked because it took Victor like 3 times.
Well, I mean, it's Victor.
Yeah, so after you get the propeller on, you have to navigate the boat through the canals.
And they give you a map, so.
Right, and you got to find the next clue, of course.
Mm-hmm. Which is on a peninsula.
It didn't look like a peninsula. It looked like a boat.
No. But Jaime and Cara turned around and went back for their bags.
Yeah, because...
That was an issue for this task.
For a lot of people, because...
Go back and get the bags or keep going.
Yeah, Kisha and Jen and Mark and Michael were the ones who ended up not going back for their bags. And it ended up biting them in the ass later on. Mm-hmm. So they didn't have their stuff.
So like we said, Victor took forever with the propeller. And he actually got his approved, and then he had to go back and fix it.
And then it was no good. Yeah. So the next task is a detour. Mm-hmm. Broken teeth or broken record.
Broken teeth was really disgusting.
I really felt bad for those people. Broken teeth was you had to go to the streets of Happy Smiles and find dentures to fit 5 people.
But you had to actually stick them in the people's mouths, and then they were like in these weird buckets with water.
Yeah, it was really sad because it was like these poor people obviously couldn't afford dentures. And
I didn't understand though. Did they already have dentures and they just put them in the bucket? Like they already had their own pair? Because like what if none of them fit?
Yeah, it was just, it really made me upset though. I was really sad after I watched that one. And thank goodness Margie and Luke were the only ones that actually did that task.
But I was happy when the people did get the right dentures.
Yeah. And broken record was you got to go to a parking lot and there's all these karaoke taxis there.
It's a party taxi.
Yeah. You got to sing along for 5 miles with some locals.
Okay.
Yeah. So on the way there, the streets were like totally flooded.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
It was real. I mean, there was people standing around eating out of like a hot dog cart, standing in the water. It was just cascading over them. Mm-hmm. So Margie and Luke, like we said, picked the dentist. Really gross. Didn't like that. Glad they were the only ones.
Yeah, everyone else chose the karaoke.
Right.
Who were the locals? Because they totally looked like they were straight from Rocky Horror.
I know. From the transsexual Transylvania planet. It was really horrific.
It was crazy though. They're like, oh, what's up?
Hi, guys.
Karaoke.
Yeah, so Mark and Michael have an argument because after they finish their task, they realize that they're going to have to go back and get their stuff.
So they're like, should we go now or after the task?
So they decided to go back before they did the karaoke taxi. So Kisha and Jen had the same problem, but they did their task first. They went in the crazy taxi first, and then they didn't have any money to pay for it. And luckily, the driver that took them there wasn't waiting around, so they didn't have to pay him. Mm-hmm. And when they got back to the other one, they had their stuff, so...
All right, let's talk about the pit stop.
Yeah.
This week, it was Phya Thai Palace.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, actually. Mm-hmm. Margie and Luke ended up in first place.
Margie didn't pass out this time, so...
Yeah. And I think Luke was really worried about it. He's like, you're drinking water? Well, he didn't say that.
Have an accent like that.
She said, Mom, are you drinking water? Referring to herself, so...
Yeah, so they want a trip for 2 to the Intercontinental Spa and Resort in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Right, so then Jaime and Cara ended up in second place. But in third place, Kisha and Jen showed up.
Not really, because they didn't have their travel documents.
Right, so then they had to go back. And like we said, they found somebody who would take them there for free.
Mm-hmm. So third place was really Tammy and Victor.
Right. And then Mark and Michael tried to, they had to barter to pay for their taxi because they had to take the taxi so far away because they had to like get around where the boat was.
Yeah.
And they thought that the girls were really hot from the karaoke.
Oh, one of them was like running his nails.
Yeah. If you couldn't see that those were guys in wigs, you got real problems.
Yeah, you always hear those stories about
people getting married and they didn't realize that they married a guy.
These would be those people.
Yeah. So they got into big trouble when they showed up.
They
supposedly in fourth place.
In fourth place. And Phil was like, no, you broke a race rule.
They are such cheaters.
You're not allowed to barter your own personal items. So
yeah.
One infraction of that rule is a 2-hour penalty.
That is a stiff penalty.
But they did it twice.
That's 4 hours. That's crazy. Whoa. So they had to sit on the sidelines for 4 hours, and
Not really. It was only like a couple minutes.
Yeah, but they're getting that whole penalty anyway. Kisha and Jen showed up after less than an hour.
So they were the true fourth place finishers.
So unfortunately, it was a non-elimination leg. I thought for sure we were going to get rid of them.
No, I didn't think we were.
I hate that because I hate them.
They're fifth place, and it was non-elimination. So they have to do the speed bump next week, and their penalty time that they didn't complete is added on to before
Good, they deserve it. They're always cheating.
I know.
Next time. Oh my god, I love this already. It's Jen versus Luke. Bitch.
They're racing each other to the clue boxes, and they're like pushing.
It's getting a little rough, and I see bitch signed in sign language, so it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Till next time, much love!